po ba?
Victims.
Ng mga victims. Paki-explain lang po sa ating mga nanonood sa atin. Bilang counsel, ano po yung ano yung takbo ng proseso ngayon?
Tapos ng proseso ngayon, tinitingnan ng pretrial chamber, i-verify nila na yung taong to, siya ngayon na nasa arrest warrant, at yung taong to, alam niya kung anong mga basis ng charges, ano yung charges. Sa tingin ko, hindi naman magiging malaking problema yan kasi si Mr. Duterte ay isang abogado naman po. Tapos after po niyan, i-determine po ng pretrial chamber kung mayroon bang application for interim release yung akusado. Kung wala naman po, i-determine ng pretrial chamber yung reasonable time kung saan po magkakaroon po ng confirmation of charges. So, malaking proseso po yan, confirmation of charges. Kung sa atin po sa Pilipinas, yan po yung arraignment at pre-trial. So, antabayan po natin kung kailan po i-schedule yan ng pretrial chamber, ang confirmation.
So wala pa pong schedule ang pretrial chamber?
Oo, wala pa kasi yung una muna yung verification. Kailangan ma-satisfy yung pretrial chamber that the person, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, understands the charges and knows the charges. And he's indeed the person in the charges, in the arrest warrant.
Pero ang malinaw po, mayroon ng custody ang ICC.
Yes, in fact, the ICC already issued a press release last night that Mr. Rodrigo Duterte is already in ICC custody. Yan po yung technical term dyan.
Pero kanina po, kung narinig niyo po yung sinabi ni isa sa mga legal counsels ni dating Pangulong Duterte, di raw po nila alam kung saan nakadetain ngayon dahil wala raw po dito, or can you answer that?
I cannot also answer that. Oo.
Yung proseso, yung proseso po nung after verification sa pre-trial, gaano po katagal ang magiging proseso bago sila mag-decide kung itutuloy sa pre-trial sa trial stage?
Oo. Actually, hindi talaga malalaman kasi it will really depend dun sa presentation muna ng Office of the Prosecutor. At it will also depend sa anong magiging hakbang ng defense kasi they're given that option whether or not they will controvert it, whether or not they will present their own evidence. They will just submit it to the resolution of the court. It will also depend sa magiging resolution ng pretrial chamber kasi tatlo yung pwedeng mga options yan. Una, sa pretrial chamber, tuloy na sa trial yan, sa trial chamber na. Or ikalawa, hindi, i-dismiss na. Or third is that, Office of the Prosecutor, sige, present mo kayo ng ibang evidence or mag-amend kayo ng charge. So it will really depend on how will things work out, both for the prosecution and the defense.
Ang sabi po, based on the rules, within 60 days, ima-maximize ba 60 days or it can maaaring ilang araw lang?
Nasa prosecutorial discretion din kasi yan ng Office of the Prosecutor Kasi kailangan matansya ng Office of the Prosecutor na yung quantum of evidence ay na-presenta na nga nila which is substantial evidence. So yun po yung tansya ng prosecutorial discretion.
At mayroon po bang tsansa na mayroong makapag-request yung defense ng mag-bail for a temporary release? Nasa rules of procedure po ba ito?
Oo. Technically, hindi bail yung term sa rules of procedure and evidence at sa Rome statute. The term there is interim release. In fact, isa po yan sa mga initial na findings ng pretrial chamber. Will the suspect, kasi suspect pala ngayon, will actually avail of an application for interim release. So, yan po yung hihintayin ng pretrial chamber. At kung mag-file nga for application for interim release, i-determine ngayon ng pretrial chamber if there are grounds for an interim release. Kasi kung wala, dito pa rin po sa ICC custody in this facility.
Ano po yung mga makikitang grounds ng defense kung sakaling sila po ay mag-a-apply ng interim release?
Kung sabihin, no? Kasi from the victims,
Ah,
sila
yeah.
lang mag-isip. Pero ito po yung technical na process dyan. Titingnan muna ng pretrial chamber na kasi meron ding mga reasons, di ba? Yung Office of the Prosecutor, bakit sila nag-apply for arrest warrant? It is for to really assure na nandito po yung accused. It's also for the protection of the witnesses and the victims. And it's also assurance na mag-a-attend ng proceedings. So titingnan muna ng trial chamber, ma-assure ba ito kung nandito pa rin yung isang akusado, at kung hindi siya ma-assure, baka i-grant or may mga kondisyones para sa pag-grant. So yun po yung process na yun.
Doon po ka sa side naman ng mga victims, ano po yung inaasahan nila? At ano po yung ang piniprepare naman ninyo bilang counsel?
Yung first and foremost, inaasahan po talaga nila ay ultimate justice. Kasi parang hindi nga sila makapaniwala. In fact, they see this as a miracle from God na nagkaroon po ng arrest at nagkaroon po ng custody ang ICC over Mr. Rodrigo Duterte. Kasi akala nila napakapangyarihan po ni Mr. Duterte. Ikalawa, they really want to be a part of that process. Kasi nandito nga sa The Hague and they want to be intrinsic part. At third, talagang victim-centered naman talaga, no? Ang criminal justice system at ang international criminal justice system. So malaki po ang magiging papel ng mga biktimang mga kaanak po.
Marami po ang nagsasabi na tila injustice daw ito kay dating Pangulong Duterte. But from the point of view of a lawyer, injustice po ba ito talaga? At yung proseso po, minadali ba ito? Or ilang taon ang tinagal since filing nung first complaint, initial? At can you tell us kung gaano ba karami ngayon ang complainants? Kasi the more marami ang complainants, the more evidences that the judges will determine, hindi po ba?
Hindi po siya injustice. In fact, this is really an implementation of the international criminal justice system. At kalawa lang po, gusto ko pong putirihin, mayroon pong basihan na legal. There's a strong legal basis po para po sa pag-arrest kay Mr. Rodrigo Duterte. And that's actually under Philippine law, Republic Act 9851 or the IHL Act. Nakastatad po sa RA 9851, Section 17, Philippine authorities may voluntarily surrender a person who's being investigated or prosecuted before an international tribunal. At sino po yung international tribunal po niyan? Yan po yung ICC. So yun po yung naging papel po ng ICC arrest warrant. Ang naging papel po ng Interpol, kailangan po sila ang medium para dumating ang ICC arrest warrant to the Philippines. At ano namang ginawa ng Pilipinas? Ginawa po ng Pilipinas ay in-invoke po in essence in their actions yung Section 17 of 9851. Kaya mahalaga po yun. Alam niyo po bakit? Pinasa po yun noong December 2009 nung panahon po na hindi pa po tayo partido sa Rome Statute, and yet napasa po siya ng ating Kongreso. Kaya this is actually an act of sovereignty by the Philippines in order po bigyan ng justice sa mga victims ng war on drugs.
Granting Attorney Gilbert na magta-trial, magpe-presenta po ba ng mga actual complainants and actual witnesses physically dito sa The Hague?
Oo, actually nasa na rin yan, ICC practice, nagpe-present din sila ng mga victims, pwedeng 3, 2, 1, it's really nasa prosecution, and we hope that the prosecution will also work closely with the lawyers for the victims po para naman po makita talaga na this is a victim-centered procedure in order to attain justice.
Meron lang po pala akong babalikan, to be a legal counsel, whether for the defense or for the victims, you have to be anong tawag, affiliated or approved by the ICC. Tama po ba?
A person has to be in the ICC list of councils. At it's really a public document. One can see it from the website of the ICC. And as far as I know, there are 5 Filipinos in the ICC list of councils.
So paano po 'yan kung ang halimbawa ang defense side ay dapat kumuha sila ng mga abogado na nasa list of councils?
Yes po. Opo. Yun na po ang isang precondition po to appear before the ICC.
At kayo po ay isa doon sa 5 Pilipino?
Ako po ay isa doon sa 5 Pilipino. Opo.
Maaari niyo po bang sabihin niyo ba pang nasa list of
Well, available siya publicly, but I can say that my law partner and in fact our chairperson in Center Law Philippines is the other one, Attorney Joel Butuyan po. So dalawa po kami sa Center Law Philippines. Ako at si Attorney Joel Butuyan po ay nasa ICC list of counsel.
balikan po natin pagka nagkahalimbawang nag-trial, mapunta ito sa trial stage, gaano katagal yan? Gaano po ang proseso?
Oo, mahirap lang sabihin ngayon yung gano'ng katagal but I can say, because I've also been a private prosecutor in the Philippines, na it's faster than how it's being done in our country. Oo. Basta there will be a reasonable time because in fact both sides, both the prosecution as well as the defense will be given the reasonable time so that they think they have already presented both sides. Kasi meron namang prinsipyo sa international criminal justice system, the rights to a fair trial ng isang accused. And there's also tinatawag na equivalence o procedural equivalence. So, tabayaan po natin. Yan.
Maraming salamat po Attorney Gilbert at na-explain niyo po yung proseso ng kaso na ito sa ICC. Maraming salamat at
Salamat po. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.